Hi, my name is Candace, aka Picasso baby, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create your very own pink screen. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, thank you so much for stopping back by to paint with me today. So we are coming up on the end of spooky season. We have just a few days before Halloween, and I wanted to do one more spooky tutorial with you all before the season is over. So today I'm going to be showing you how to create your very own pink screen. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you do not miss the next tutorial. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go over everything that I'm going to be using before we get started. As always, I am working with a 16 by 20 inch canvas. You can use the canvas size of your choice. You also want to make sure that you have a cup with cool water and a napkin or a rag to dry your brushes off on. You also want to make sure that you have some different size acrylic paint brushes. And today I'm only using a few colors. If you would like more colors, remember you can use whatever colors you like. But I'm working with acrylic paint and I'm using black, white, and a little bit of bright red. I am also going to be doing some drawing, so I'm using a permanent marker. I do always suggest drawing it in pencil first. That way you can erase anything that you make a mistake with or that you don't like. But if you feel confident, you can always draw it in marker first. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to do is I want to get Scream's face in because I am going to base everything off of that. So what I'm going to do right in the middle here, so right at the middle point of the canvas, I am going to draw a really long oval. And I'm going to base everything off of that. That's going to be his mouth. Right above his mouth, I'm going to do his nose. His nose is just an upside down heart. And then I'm going to place his eyes in. Now his eyes kind of look like little jelly beans, but they're also just the shape of ovals, but they are turned to the side. So same thing over here. All right, so we got the bases in. Now I want to do everything around it. So above his head, I'm going to do a nice little curve. So I based it off the sides of the eyes there. Now, I'm going to follow the shape of the eyes. Same thing here. Now, I'm going to go down and I'm going to follow the shape of the mouth. And you want to make sure to keep the bottom of his face or his chin area skinny. So now we got all of that in. Now we're going to add a few more things in. So I want to also add in a phone because if you know on the movie, he makes the phone calls. What's your favorite scary movie? You know. And we're also going to add in his murder weapon of choice. So for the phone, I'm going to base it off the side of the face here. So I'm not going to be right next to the face, but I'm going to come out just a bit. So across from the eye here. And I'm going to curve down near the mouth. Now from there, at the top here, I'm going to make a little wide oval almost, and it's about the size of this little eye socket here. Then I'm gonna come down first, and I'm going to make another one. This one's a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to curve over. Now, of course, I want his hands to be holding it, so I'm going to do 4 fingers right on top of the phone. I'm drawing right on top of it. And I'm going to leave that like that for now. Now I'm going to come over here and do his murder weapon. So for his murder weapon, I'm coming on the side of his face. I'm going to draw a line down. I'm going to curve it at an angle. I'm going to come back up and do a line over. Draw another line down. And that's going to be his murder weapon of choice. I want to make a little bit of blood coming down. So I am going to do some little squigglies there. And then the same way I did this hand, I'm going to do the same thing over here. 4 fingers. Now I want to make the hood. So I'm going to go right over his head. So you see how I started on the phone there? Keeping the shape and going over. Now on this side, I'm gonna go at this top finger here. I'm gonna move out, curve down a bit, and then I'm just gonna go right back to my knife. On this side, I'm gonna curve out from the finger. And I'm gonna go down, and then I'm just gonna curve back to the other side of the knife. Now that we have everything in, let's go ahead and start to paint. So for my background, I want to fill it in with pink. If you would like to do another color, remember you can do the color of your choice, but I'm going to be mixing up some red and white to get my pink. So right on my plate, I'm going to take some of my red and I'm just mixing it on my plate so I can see the shade that I get. If you would like to just pick up the two colors and let it blend on the canvas, you definitely can. It's up to you, but I'm just mixing it right on my plate. And now I'm going to paint in my entire background. So I'm painting everything around my screen. And I am doing this step with my larger size flat brush, or whatever large brush you have will work perfectly fine. You just want to get the entire background filled in with the color of your choice. Now, once you have your entire background filled in, I am going to switch brushes. So I'm going to switch to this medium-sized round brush, and now I want to fill my face in. Now for my face, of course, his mask is white, but remember, if you want to do a different color, it's up to you. But I'm just going to go in and get his mask filled in. Now, although my canvas is already white, if you want to leave it white like the raw canvas, you definitely can. It's up to you. But I'm just filling it in with white paint just so that it's a nice even white. And I'm going around all of his facial features. So I'm going around his eyes, his nose, and his mouth. And I'm just doing the mask. I'm not going to do the hood just yet. Alright, now once you have that, we are going to paint the phone. Now my phone, I want it to be a lighter shade of pink. Remember, I'm doing a pink screen. You can do the color of your choice, but I'm not going to wash this brush off. What I'm going to do is take some of my white and that pile of pink that I had already made. I'm going to mix some in there just to get a lighter pink. And I'm going to fill in my phone. So I'm skipping right over the hand. And I'm going to fill in the bottom of the phone. Now, I'm also going to fill in the knife. I want my knife to be gray. I'm not going to wash my brush just because it's only a little bit of light pink in there. If you want to wash your brush, or if you did a different color, you need to wash your brush, feel free to do so. But I'm going to take some white and mix it with a little bit of black to get more of a gray color. And I'm going to fill in the top here. Skip right over his fingers, and I'm going to fill in the bottom. And remember those squiggly lines that we added for the blood, don't paint that part just yet. Only paint the knife. All right, now that I have that, I'm gonna go through and paint everything black. And I'm still using my medium round brush for this part. If you need to switch to a smaller brush, or if you're comfortable with a bigger brush, use the brush of your choice. You just wanna make sure to wash it out really good. Dry it off. And now you are gonna fill in all of the facial features. You're gonna fill in the entire hood. The only thing that I'm not going to do just yet, I am not going to go in those 4 little fingers. I'm not going to paint those yet, but I'm going to paint everything else. So I'm just going to work on getting this done, and then I'm going to show you how you want to do the fingers so that they stand out. All right, now we have our screen filled in. You can see things are coming together. The only thing I didn't do was the fingers. Now I'm just saving the fingers for last because I want them to still stand out. So what I'm going to do for the fingers, I'm going to keep using black. I'm going to put a little bit of white on the tip of my brush. And I am going to pull each finger back. So you see how now you can see each finger? Same thing over here. I am going to put a little bit of white on my brush so that you can see each finger. Now, while I have this white on my brush, I'm going to go through and add some highlights to my screen. So like, for example, just putting a little highlight on his hood there. Let's put one down here. We can put one under his chin, just to give it a little detail. Now, wherever you put these at, you want to make sure you follow the shape that's already there. You don't want to make any curves that are not already there. Wherever you're going to put it, follow that shape. Now I'm going to switch to my smallest brush because it's time to add in some smaller details and to clean some things up. But the first thing I want to do is we got to get that blood on there. So with my smallest brush, I'm going to take a little bit of red paint. And I am going to fill that in. Now I'm just going to wash my brush off and dry it because now I want to outline the details that are not already outlined in black. So if you did your hood and everything a different color, you definitely want to outline everything. But if you did your hood black, you're mostly just going in and outlining the phone and the knife. So I'm going to outline the bottom here to really clean it up. Same thing, I'm going to outline my little blood. Because I want everything to be nice and clean and I want it to pop. And I'm definitely going to outline the phone. Remember how we did that little oval? I'm going to pull the shape of that back out by doing just that, and then outline the back of the phone. And same thing at the bottom. Pull that little oval back out. And outline the bottom of your phone. Now, if there's anything else you need to clean up or outline, you definitely can. Before I'm done with the black, the same way I added highlights in the black areas using white, I'm going to add some highlights in other areas as well. So for example, on the knife, I'm going to add a quick little line there. On his face, I'm going to add a few lines. That line in there under each eye. So I'm coming in and curving. You do want to make sure to do those two lines to really give it that screen look. I'm going to also add a little line on the side of the mouth here, a little one over here. Let's add a little one on the phone there. And before I'm done, I want to also add a little cord to my phone. So I'm going to wash this smallish brush off. And I'm going to go back into my light pink. And I'm going to add a little cord. Now, if your painting is still really, really wet, you can wait for this part, let it dry for a minute, and then add it. I'm going to add it while it's still just a little wet because I want it to blend a little bit. So right from the bottom of the phone here, I'm just making a little curly cube there. And I'm going to go back over it just a little bit. So again, if you want to wait for it to dry, you definitely can. You can hit it with a blow dryer. It's up to you. But I want it to blend just a little bit. So I'm going over it. And I'm just adding a little curly cube going down. And once you've added that, if there is anything else you want to add to your painting, if you want to add any words, anything at all, it's completely up to you. But before you are completely finished, the last thing you want to make sure to do is simply sign your name. You can sign your initials or your signature right in the corner. And once you have done that, you now have your very own pink screen. Thank you all so much for painting with me today. I hope you have enjoyed creating your very own pink screen and that your spooky season has been a good one. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.